Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for clicking in. So today I'm bringing you this nice equation that I want us to solve for the all values of x when given x to the power of 8 is equals to 1. What is the value of x? So before we begin, remember to like, subscribe and comment down below. So x to the power of 8, so this power here determines the values of x that we should get. So for our case here, we should get 8 values of x. So our first step, we'll begin by bringing this one to our left hand side. Therefore, this will be x to the power of 8 minus 1 is equals to 0. So we can as well write this equation as x to the power of 8 minus 1 to the power of 8 is equals to 0, right? So let us express this as x to the power of 4, all this squared, minus 1 to the power of 4, all this squared is equals to 0. So you can see this is a difference of 2 square. So we are going to use this perfect square identity, whereby if you have a squared minus b squared, we can as well write it as a plus b in bracket a minus b. So let us express this into this form. So this will be x to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4 into bracket x to the power of 4 minus 1 to the power of 4 is equals to 0. X to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4 into bracket x to the power of 4, we can write it as x squared, all this squared, minus 1 squared, all this squared is equals to 0. So again, we are going to refer to this identity for our case here. So this will be x to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4 into bracket x squared plus 1 into bracket x squared minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So next step, x to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4 into bracket x squared plus 1 in bracket x squared minus, so this one here is 1 squared is equals to 0. So for this case here, we are again going to refer to the perfect square identity and express this into that form. X to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4 into x squared plus 1 into, so this is x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0. Nice. So this is another bracket. So for this case here, we have x to the power of 4 plus 1 to the power of 4. So we can write it as x squared, all this squared, plus 1 squared, all this squared, then bigger bracket, then x squared plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So for this case here, we are going to write it as x squared plus 1, all this squared, into bracket x squared plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0. So we have this. We are going to use this identity. So if you have a plus b, all this squared, we can as well write it as a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. So for this case, we are going to write it as x squared, all this squared, plus our b here, which is 1 squared, plus 2a, which is x squared, and b is 1. So it will remain as this. So this will be x squared, all this squared, plus 1 squared, plus 2x squared, minus 2x squared, then bracket x squared plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So we can break this down and write it as x squared plus 1, all this squared, minus 2x squared, then bracket x squared plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So we have our a squared minus, this is our b squared. We can as well write it as a plus b into a minus b. So this we can write it as x squared plus 1, so this is 1 squared is 1, minus square root 2x bracket into bracket x squared plus 1 plus square root 2x bracket, then this x squared plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0, right? So next step, we shall take this equated with 0, this equated with 0, this equated with 0, this with 0, and this with 0. So let us start with this one. So x minus 1 is equals to 0, x plus 1 is equals to 0, x squared plus 1 is equals to 0. Then this x squared, so we shall rearrange this as plus square root 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. Then this x squared minus square root 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. So from this point here, we shall now get the first value of x, where x is equals to 1. This is the first value of x. Then x is equals to negative 1. So this is the second value of x. So from this point, we shall have two values of x. So x squared is equals to negative 1. So you square root here and square root this side as well. So this square will cancel with the square root, and x is equals to plus or minus imaginary. So the square root of negative 1 is imaginary. So we shall now have the third value and the fourth value of x. So for this case here, we can still solve this as a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So x is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So x is equals to negative b. So this is negative square root 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared. So this is negative, square root 2, all this squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, and c, which is 1, over 2 times a, which is 1. So x is equals to negative square root 2 plus or minus the square root of, so this square will cancel with the square root, so this will be 2 minus 4 over 2. So x is equals to negative square root 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 minus 4, this is negative 2 over 2. So x is equals to negative square root 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 imaginary over 2. So from this point, we shall now have the fifth value of x and the sixth value. So the fifth value of x is equals to negative square root 2 minus square root 2 imaginary over 2. And the sixth value of x is equals to negative square root 2 plus square root 2 imaginary over 2, right? So let us now get the 6th, 7th, and the 8th value of x. So x is equals to, we have negative b, which is negative square root 2. So this will be positive square root 2 plus or minus the square root of negative square root 2, all this squared, minus 4a, which is 1, and c, which is 1, over 2 times a, which is 1. So x is equals to square root 2 plus or minus the square root of, so this square will cancel with this square, so we shall remain here with 2 minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 1, that is 4. So 2 minus 4 over 2. X is equals to square root 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 over 2. So x is equals to the square root of 2 plus or minus the square root 2 imaginary over 2. So from this point we shall now have the 7 and the 8 value of x. So x is equals to the square root of 2 plus the square root of 2 imaginary over 2. So this is the 7th, and then we have the 8th value of x, which is square root 2 minus the square root of 2 imaginary over 2. So let me write here all the value of x. So the first value of x is equals to 1. X is equals to negative 1. X, so this is the third, is equals to positive imaginary. Then the fourth, x is equals to negative imaginary. Then the fifth, x is equals to negative square root 2 plus square root 2 imaginary. Then the sixth value of x is equals to minus square root 2 minus square root 2 imaginary over 2. So this is over 2. Then we have the 7th and the 8th value of x. So remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Bye bye. See you in my next video.